If your family was slaughtered by terrifying monsters, what would you do? Your beloved sister has turned into a demon, and now you'll need to train to become the world's greatest demon slayer in order to save your sister and take down your family's murderer. I'm going to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the demons in Demon Slayer. This kid has no idea that he's about to watch everyone he loves get slaughtered by demons. Tanjiro here is your regular small-town kid with a super sensitive nose. More on that later. He prepares to leave his house and head to the nearby town, wanting to sell his family's charcoal supply. He waves goodbye to his family and tells them that he'll be back tonight, not realizing that by morning, everyone he loves will have their guts and insides ripped out. He heads into town but comes across a friend who needs his help. He's gotten into trouble for breaking this lady's pot. So Tanjiro uses his special nose to help him out. Isn't he nice? He gives this pot a sniff and tells this lady here that his friend is innocent and that her pot was broken by a nearby stray cat. This kid's superhuman nose is capable of smelling all sorts of scents, and within the next few months, he will use this power to hunt down demons. Later that night, Tanjiro finishes up his job in town and heads back to his family in the forest, and then he comes across this man. He tells Tanjiro that it's too dangerous to be walking around the mountain at night, and he warns him that terrifying creatures are out on the prowl, wanting to keep him out of trouble. He forces Tanjiro to spend the night with him, telling this kid that he can leave in the morning when it's safe. As he heads inside, this man reveals to him the terrifying reality of this world. By sundown every night, the world enters a state of horror and brutality. The demons of this world come out at sunset to feed on the living, and have been doing this for hundreds of years. He tells Tanjiro that to combat this threat, humanity ages ago created demon hunters, specialized warriors that have existed for centuries with one job in mind: to wipe out all of the world's demons. Tanjiro thinks he's joking, but the man warns him to be on high alert from now on. The next day, Tanjiro hurries back to his family home, but comes across a terrifying scent. He smells blood. Following the strong metallic scent, he follows the scent of blood as it leads him right to his family. A pile of corpses. Everyone here has been murdered. Shocked, he sees his sister still alive and rushes over to get her some help, but that's when he realizes that something is wrong. She freaks out and begins to get violent, pushing both of them off this cliff. Tanjiro then realizes that his sister has turned into the stuff of legends, a bona fide demon. She pounces onto him and tries to tear him apart, not wanting to hurt her. He still thinks his sister's soul is in there somewhere inside of this demon, and he begs her to come back to him. But that's when Tanjiro notices his demon sister begin to let out some tears, so it looks like she's still in there. Whoa! I know this has been a long time coming, and boy am I excited to tell you about this one. This world is filled with terrifying demons that are basically like vampires, sort of, and they all have their own unique supernatural powers, and are hard as hell to kill. But what I'm wondering about right now is how in the world Tanjiro went living his brief life in a scary-ass forest with his family, and none of these guys ever came across one of these monsters that supposedly comes out every night and goes ooky spooky throughout the forest. Like, honestly, it's a miracle that his family's death didn't happen sooner. But let's put on our Sherlock and figure out what's going on. From the crime scene and how the doors were blown back, it's likely the demon entered the house suddenly. The blood on this door looks to be a result from a medium velocity splatter pattern, usually caused by things such as baseball bats, hammers, axes, all the fun tools for murder. And if I had to guesstimate, it has an impact speed between 5 to 25 feet per second. Obviously, these demons would likely have been able to attack at even much faster speeds than that. But however, due to the placement of the door here, and the thicker blood drops on the door itself, and the demons likely used their teeth and claws, explaining why this pattern looks like it came from someone that was attacked with a knife or something very sharp at very close range. And everyone's situated in this one corner here. Check it out. And it likely means that they were within that spot before the demon entered the house and basically died where they stood, because the blood pattern on this door over here, fun fact folks, is known as a cast-off pattern. And this happens when an object like an axe covered in blood, for example, flings back in an attempt to impact the victim a second time, and this flinging motion causes whatever blood is on the weapon to fall in the opposite direction of the attacker. Isn't that cool? The tail of this blood pattern usually points to the direction of where the impact came from, that the demon entered the house, killing his first victim right here before running to the far side of the room and causing a mess over here. The panic in this room caused the door here to blow, and our sister and our brother tried to run, but were taken down before they could reach the doorway. Then, based on the transfer blood stains, they either tried to crawl out of the house while bleeding out, or they were dragged out by the demon. Long story short, our entire family all died a very brutal death, and all happened practically within the span of 10 seconds. That is horrible. And the fact that our sister survived all of this means that I wouldn't really count on her personality ever coming back anytime soon, because anybody who witnessed their own family's personal execution and slaughter would likely be so screwed up for the rest of their life. Out of nowhere, this warrior flies in and and nearly kills Nezuko. That's his sister's name, by the way. And Tanjiro acts fast. The man introduces himself as Gyu. This man is a legendary demon hunter. He takes a swipe at Nezuko and tells Tanjiro that she must die. And he begs Gyu to spare her life, telling him that she's still human deep down in there somewhere. He saw the tears. He's not lying. And he tells him that someone else is behind his family's murder. And he whines so much that he pisses this guy off. And he tells Tanjiro to stop whining and get over it and deal with the situation like a man. So what does he do? Tanjiro steps up to the plate and throws a snowball at him. And he charges in headfirst. Very stupid. Gyu easily knocks him down, but he notices that Tanjiro doesn't have his weapon. Suddenly, it comes flying through the air and it almost kills him. This shocks him, and he realizes that Tanjiro now just displayed some very impressive battle tactics. But then Gyu gets knocked down by Nezuko, and he watches her go to protect her brother, clearly still showing some human traits. He thinks these two might have something special. Moments later, Tanjiro wakes up to find that his sister is alright and is not a crazy demon face. Gyu tells them both to head to this mountain nearby and to find a mysterious old man, and he will be able to take care of them and solve all of their problems. The two then head off to find this old man under the cloudy mountain sky. On the way there, they come across this shrine, but that's when Tanjiro spots his first proper demon live in the flesh. It viciously tells them that this is his territory, but he notices Nezuko instantly. He attacks Tanjiro, but very quickly Nezuko decapitates him, but he's not dead. His headless body still tries to attack them, and Tanjiro and Nezuko both fight parts of this demon head on. He traps the demon's head into a tree, but Tanjiro then notices by his smell that this demon is not the one who killed his family.
Excuse the interruption, but I wanted to break in and give everyone a heads up about a great new deal from our partners over at Factor. Now we all know that when it comes to anime, the best fed characters usually win the fight, and the meals from Factor are some of the best tasting I've had. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. The team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. You need nutritious, convenient meals to energize you for warmer, active days and to keep you on track for reaching your goals. Whether you're the protagonist in an anime or a regular person, Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll eat well and tackle everything on your to-do list, whether you're about to do battle with another character or solve a school mystery. Now, I personally hate having to think about what I'm going to eat and how long it'll take to get to me. So the fact that Factor is cheaper than takeout and meals are ready faster than restaurant delivery in just 2 minutes is perfect for me. And it doesn't hurt that the meals like sun-dried tomato chicken, for example, are delicious either. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code HTBA50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Now back to the video.
Okay, we've just officially encountered our first proper demon here. But the thing that doesn't make sense is how everything went down right before shit just hit the fan just now. If I was Tanjiro, I would have talked way more with Gyu when we first met him and would have taken the news that there were demons in my backyard so lightly. We were warned by that man earlier. You know, the old guy that Tanjiro slept in his house with. We were told that demons were active in this area at night, and our family paid the ultimate price for it in the same forest the next day. This means that even going to meet this mysterious old man that Gyu told us about, this would have meant to us having to walk through this forest even longer, which we already knew wasn't 100% safe to begin with. Gyu being a demon hunter means that we could have picked his brain for a while and gathered more info about what demons were really out there in this forest and how we could have defeated them. By asking him more questions about our enemy, we could have also figured out that these creatures were basically like vampires, unable to stand directly in the sun, have superhuman abilities, and so on. Now, the time frame that these events are currently set in are in the Taisho era in Japan, from 1912 to 1926. So it's possible that Japanese citizens would have had some pre-existing knowledge of vampire tales and folklore that would have come from the West at that time, especially since Japan opened up to trading with the West over 60 years ago prior to these events. Fun fact, it opened up in 1853, and this means that Western influence would have definitely already been a thing. It's also noted that the demon we just encountered said that this was his territory, and how does a demon even pull that off? Pull up a sign? But anyways, this basically means that this was his feeding area and we just stepped into it. But the fact also is that Gyu could have also told us about this and would have no doubt have changed how we would have also done things. Tanjiro here should have taken a page out of Natsuno's book from Shiki and should have actually tried to do at least some research on the enemies he was up against before he went out into the forest, because all of this was just pathetic. But then they get approached by a stranger wearing a mask. It's the old man. He tells Tanjiro that the only way to kill a demon is by destroying their head, and tells this kid that he won't cut it, but Tanjiro has no idea what he's talking about. The sun finally rises as everyone watches this demon get burnt alive, and Tanjiro sees his sister retreat into the shade. The masked man introduces himself as Sakonji, aka Old Man. He knows that the demon hunter from earlier, Gyu, sent Tanjiro to him. He tells this kid that he thinks his fighting skills are pathetically weak and that he's not ruthless enough for the job of becoming a demon hunter. He tells these two that they will stay with him at his house from now on, while he tests Tanjiro's abilities over the next many months, and doing this he will get his anime demon hunting journey started. They head to the top of the mountains as the old man gives him his first assignment. In order to be trained by him, Tanjiro needs to meet him at his his house down below before sunrise or else he'll fail the test. And just like Batman, he suddenly disappears and Tanjiro begins his test. But he fails instantly in all sorts of ways, realizing that the thin mountain air is making everything more difficult. He gets up and tries to focus on the old man's scent, eventually reaching the bottom of the hill and passing the test, and the old man accepts him as his student. In order to become a full-time demon hunter, Tanjiro must train in order to pass the final test, called the Final Selection, a terrifying trial in the forest where all the demon hunters will go to test their skills up against horrifying monsters. But to do that, Tanjiro will need to learn the ways of the warrior first. Okay, this is insane. What Tanjiro is up against is actually more insane than he even realizes. Even though demon hunters have been around for nearly 1,000 years, the government of Japan doesn't recognize their existence. And the crazy part is that all of these guys all start out as regular humans who basically train like Saitama, do a little bit of breathing, and turn into a Japanese blade, gaining powers similar to him, enhanced speed, strength, reflexes, and some really sick computer graphics and animation. Combining all of that, they get something known as total concentration breathing techniques. What this is when someone inhales the maximum amount of oxygen within a specific breath pattern, basically to enhance all of their senses to their maximum level. Similar to real-world examples where extra oxygen supplied to the brain or muscle can enhance cognitive or physical performance during training. So basically learning how to breathe better to become a better badass. Tanjiro begins his training to become the world's greatest demon hunter and learns all sorts of skills: sword, total concentration breathing, and all 10 breath water forms, while Nezuko slips into a deep coma. It's strange, but the doctors can't explain it. He continues his training as 1 year passes. Old man Sakonji tells him that his training with him is now complete, but there's one more thing he must do first. He takes Tanjiro to this giant rock and gives him his final task. If he can split this rock in two with his katana, he'll be allowed to join the final selection. Tanjiro then spends many months trying to breathe it, but he can't do it, and begins to lose all hope. But that's when this kid in a fox mask shows up. Tanjiro thinks this guy's another student of Old Man. The kid begins to mock him and tells him that he's still a little boy. He challenges Tanjiro to show him what he's got. The two duke it out, but Fox Mask Kid shows him who's boss. It gets even weirder, because this girl shows up out of nowhere and tells Tanjiro that the kids are rooting for him as well. Tanjiro is even more confused than I am right now, but he begins training with these kids and they help him develop his skill. Many more months pass and Fox Mask Kid challenges Tanjiro to another fight, but this time he's ready. He attacks the Mask Kid, cutting off his mask, and these two kids smile, and they tell Tanjiro to win no matter what, before they both suddenly disappear. And Tanjiro realizes that he just cut through the rock and has passed the test. Finally, Old Man shows up again and is shocked. He tells Tanjiro that he secretly wished he would fail this test because he doesn't want to watch another kid die during the final selection. He pets him like Hachiko and tells him to give the final test everything he's got and hands him a fox mask. The next day, Tanjiro leaves his sister with Old Man and heads off to the final selection, heading into this mystical forest far away in the mountain. Here he meets the other trainees and these two creepy looking girls. Ugh. They tell everyone here that this mountain is home to thousands of captured demons that can't escape this forest thanks to these magical trees that surround the mountain. If everyone here can survive the entire night alive, they will pass the final selection and become a demon hunter. Okay, shit's about to get dirty real fast, because we need to realize the dangers of what we're about to face. Because there's no help coming for any of us if we mess up, and the death rate for putting children up against thousands of demons is probably what you'd expect. Most of them die. However, the reality of this death game is that it has a ton of flaws, and one big one. It's stated in the rules that candidates don't need to actually fight any demons to pass the test. They just need to be alive by the end of things. That's a big loophole, don't you think? Don't you think that would create some sort of a quality problem? From this big lack of oversight in the rules, we can assume that the best candidates in the past, the top, they're the ones that killed most of the demons on this mountain, while the rest of them just simply hid till the exam was over, which means that over time, the demon slayers that are out and about right now, a good chunk of them are not that good and probably haven't even killed a demon yet. That's kind of scary. And this huge flaw highlights another problem. It has to do with the variety of skills that a demon slayer learns as a part of their training, and it's one that is not tested here. Because becoming a demon slayer is not just about sword skills, it's about being a master tactician, strategist. Being a part of the demon slayer corps is basically like being a part of a special military unit. They learn and get good at many skills, but the problem is that this tournament rules is that not everyone here is good at everything. Some might be terrible swordsmen who will hide during the tournament and just survive only to die a week later when they come across an actual demon. And many great swordsmen here in the past have been killed during this tournament trying to protect weaker candidates. This means I think we can take advantage of this huge loophole in this tournament. The rules never said that we could not team up or betray other candidates, which means we got a lot of options to work with. The more logical move would be to band together and utilize everyone's different strength to survive as a full-on group, which sounds like a really good idea. But for the good of the Demon Slayer Corps, we probably should not let the weaker ones survive. survive. We could backstab the shit out of many candidates by befriending them at first, identifying their weaknesses and strengths, and then take advantage of that whenever we need to survive ourselves. I got a sister I have to try to undemify. Now, while this backstabbing strategy would not be the most efficient one, as it wouldn't really serve any purpose since no one needs to die in order to win the tournament, then I guess we could just help everybody and hopefully we all survive together as a team, because then that would increase everyone's odds of surviving and passing the final Demon Slayer test all as friends. The competition finally starts, but Tanjiro is horrified. He decides to head east, where the sun will rise the earliest, and hopes to avoid all of the demon drama, but it's too late. Suddenly he runs into a nasty blood-soaked scent and figures out that a demon is nearby. He tries to calm himself down and uses one of the skills that the old man taught him: total concentration breathing. He floods his body with supernatural levels of oxygen and blood, and uses a fourth form strike to knock the creatures down. But then he hears footsteps getting closer and closer, and he starts to realize that what's coming is not just another demon, it's something far worse. He spots a towering demon pass by him and sees what it's chasing: this one dude and this girl, as she gets picked up and eaten alive. This makes the demon grow even bigger and shoots its arms at this trainee, capturing him. Tanjiro quickly reacts and saves him, using the breath of the water second form. The demon then spots Tanjiro's fox mask and lets out a sinister chuckle. It recognizes the mask. It tells Tanjiro that it knows his master, Old Man. 50 years ago, Old Man captured this demon and trapped him on this magical mountain. It then reveals to Tanjiro something horrifying: wanting revenge against Old Man. This demon made it his life's mission to brutally feast on every single one of Old Man's students that he sent to the final selection. And over the last 50 years, none of them made it out alive, including the last kid who wore the very mask on Tanjiro's face: Fox, Mask Guy, and the little girl. Tanjiro's eyes widen and he furiously tries to attack this demon, but he's too weak. He focuses on his training and thinks fast, quickly attacking from the air. And again, he uses his sick breath of water moves to rain down hell on this demon, swiftly killing it. Well done. And he sees the souls of all the children that this demon murdered, all of the old man's ex-students, finally being set free. He goes on to kill more demons and survives the night. The next morning, the remaining trainees remain standing, and everyone here passes the final selection test. After, they meet with this Demon Slayer lady, who assigns each one of them a personal bird assistant, which will also provide them with new demon hunting bounties. Now a full-on Demon Slayer, Tanjiro heads back to meet with Old Man and Nezuko, but is shocked to see that she's now awake. Old Man thinks that Nezuko was sleeping all this time to regain energy, and this is how she avoided eating human flesh. Later, he tells Tanjiro all about the different types of demons that he will come across on his adventures. Some can even cast spells using their blood, known as blood demon arts. How original. Eventually, he receives all of his official demon hunting gear, including this sick blade. Oh, it's beautiful. And then his crow updates him that his first devil hunting mission has arrived. Ready to go, Old Man gives Tanjiro a special sunlight-proof box to keep Nezuko in during the day, and he reveals something huge. He tells him that there may be one demon in the world that could possibly cure his sister, the very first demon ever created. This demon can use his blood to change humans into demons, and tells him to go find a man named Muzan Kibutsuji. This man will ruin Tanjiro's life before he even knows it. The two then hug it out, and this kid declares that he will save his sister and avenge whoever killed his family. How noble. And Old Man wishes him good luck, and they part ways. Later, Tanjiro then heads off on his first devil hunting mission. He reaches this town. The citizens tell him what's going on. Girls have started to go missing every night, and it's only getting worse. Tanjiro promises he'll solve the case and talks to one of the victims' brother. He says that his sister disappeared a few days ago and needs help finding her. So what does he do? He begins sniffing around, literally, for the missing girls. And then he picks up the scent of a demon, but something is off. He tracks the scent late into the night and finally picks up the demons. He can tell they're nearby and runs to find them. Running into this alley, he doesn't see anything. Using his powers, he takes out his sword and stabs it into the ground, saving this guy's sister just in time. Tanjiro asks the demon where's the rest of the girls that it abducted, but it starts making a strange sound. Knowing he's in for a fight, he readies his sword, but then finds out that there's not one demon, but three. Okay, here we go. This demon looks like it uses blood demon arts, which is basically like magic that some demons who are strong enough can do, and with each demon being able to do different things. And already we have one advantage. This demon has revealed some of its powers to us already. We don't have to wonder and worry about what this demon is capable of. A demon that hasn't revealed their powers until the last moment is one that is far more dangerous because we don't know what to expect. This one, though, has already revealed some of its powers. This demon has the power to divide itself into three, which makes me wonder, is it possible that the division of the bodies also means a division in power? Which is great news for for us, which means we can divide and conquer, but we are outnumbered, so we do have to be careful. If I was Tanjiro, I wouldn't leap in right away. I would observe as much as I can and try to get this demon to reveal its powers. Because just by observing their actions and how they talk, if you pay attention, you can pick up on the original full demon's actual personality. One of the demons appears to be more calm and analytical. One is more violent and impulsive driven. And one has no visible emotions, but relies more on instinct, much like a rabid hunting dog. This means if I was Tanjiro, I would look to, as I said, divide and conquer and take out the brains out of the three. This will allow us to focus our efforts on the impulsive driven one next. Take him out and then we can take out the dumb hunting dog. That's what I would do. What would you do? Tanjiro realizes that since all the demons have the same scent, it must be dividing itself into three people. He quickly uses his waterfall basin power to attack them, but he isn't fast enough. Out of nowhere, the demons burst out of this wall nearby and almost kill Tanjiro, but his sister Nezuko steps out to save him. The three evil demons get really confused why a demon and a demon hunter are working together, but Nezuko readies with her brother to take down all three of these demons. Tanjiro tells her to watch these two kids as he jumps deep into the demon puddle, heading down into another dimension as he chases after the main demon. About to get attacked, he summons a sixth form massive wave whirlpool and barely manages to kill all of these demons. But meanwhile, Nezuko protects these innocent children from the final demon. But Tanjiro comes back from the demon dimension and works with his sister to take this final demon down. He interrogates it and asks what he knows about his master, the very first demon ever created, Muzan. But the demon sits in shock at the sound of that name and says that he can't snitch on his master, or else he'll suffer a fate worse than death. Desperate, it tries to attack Tanjiro but gets slain. Frustrated at getting nowhere with finding a cure for Nezuko so far, Tanjiro can do nothing but be happy with the fact that his first hunting mission is complete. He leaves the town with his sister, and this crow gives him his next mission, and it's one mission that will change everything. Okay, Tanjiro, listen to me, brother. You did good, you took out the demons, but you better not be letting it go to your head, because from what I've seen from you so far, my friend, is that while you're out here killing demons, what you're really trying to do is gather more information about Muzan all the freaking time through all the demons that you plan on finding. Now, while the plan itself does sound good, it's simple, it's smart, learn more information about your enemy and learn how to take him down. But how you're going about this, Tanjiro, is what doesn't make sense. Because think about it, my weebs, each demon that he tries to interrogate for 5 minutes will never talk about Muzan. And since from what we saw with the swamp demon, Muzan has the ability to kill them instantly if they snitch about him. If I was Tanjiro, I would opt to play the long game in terms of finding out more information about the demon kingpin from every demon we meet. And you want to know how I'll do it? Is by only going on demon hunting missions from now on with the intent to capture and not kill the next demon that we see. Yes, I know it's harder to capture than kill, but come on, we need information. We need them alive, not dead. But if you're able to capture a demon and over time slowly starve it over the next several days and weeks, this would likely weaken the demon's resolve to hold out any information that they might know about Muzan. But we have to be careful about our questions. Any question that we could ask could possibly have this demon end up dying. By capturing the demon and starving it, it will behave just like humans, because hunger affects the brain and causes one to become a little bit impaired, unable to make rational decisions. We have to break this demon's will, which means that before long, this demon will beg for food, and it is at that moment that we will have the power to truly get information. He must head to Tokyo, because more reports of demons emerging have been flowing in from there. Later that night, they finally reach Tokyo, but Tanjiro is a hungry boy, so he orders himself some ramen. But then he picks up a familiar demon scent, the same scent he picked up when his family was murdered. He rushes to find the demon that killed his family and runs into the first demon ever created, Muzan. Tanjiro tries to kill him, but he now realizes that this freak has a human family that he's using as a cover. He freezes up and doesn't know what to do, and that was his biggest mistake. Muzan then suddenly slashes the back of this human guy's neck, and he quickly begins transforming into a demon, biting this lady as the crowd begins to freak out and panic. Tanjiro realizes that he messed up and runs to help this poor man. Meanwhile, Muzan quickly leaves with his family. The demon hunter just got played and yells out to Muzan that he will find him and kill him soon. The police then show up and Tanjiro begs them to help him, but they don't believe him and are about to beat him up when a magical mist surrounds everyone here. Oh, okay, Tanjiro, you got really lucky, because you just came across the most powerful demon king in existence. This guy is the OG demon and has existed for over 1,000 years. His powers are basically limitless, and he could have killed you instantly. And despite Tanjiro's Demon Slayer Hunter title, he rushed in way too quickly. He could have got himself killed. I get it. If I was him, I would be deep in the fields too. I would want revenge, but I would plan a little bit first. Because from the looks of things, Muzan certainly didn't see us coming, and neither did we, which was in part due to the large population of citizens citizens surrounding us, which could have thrown off his scent of us, or us finding him right away. Or it could be because he was with his fake family, and he simply wasn't as alert with them as he usually is alone. Regardless, he didn't see us, and this means we could have been way more sneaky to begin with. Being sneaky is the way more logical thing to do, because upon discovering his scent, Tanjiro should have trailed him first to get an idea of what he's truly up against. Analyze his habits and surroundings. Where does he go? Where does he frequent? Who does he talk to more often than not? Because him being literal demon royalty means that he probably wouldn't have been alone, really. Which means you gotta keep your distance for real. You're not just gonna be able to waltz in and kill this demon king right away. You gotta have a plan. Because if he had followed him, he would have seen Muzan's attack on these drunk fools. And here Tanjiro could have gotten a taste of the type of person that Muzan is. And Tanjiro, you could have learned right here that Muzan's real goal is to one day make the demon race resistant to sunlight, or at least himself. This could have given us a huge advantage of knowing his desires and later use this against him. And yes, unfortunately, Tanjiro, you will have to be okay with letting him kill some innocent people, but too bad, man, it's for the greater good. But the one thing that Tanjiro did find out by going in headfirst like an idiot was the fact that Muzan, when he got discovered, quickly turned someone else nearby into a demon to keep Tanjiro distracted. He could have just easily killed Tanjiro right then and there. This makes me suspect that despite this Demon King's scary reputation, he doesn't want to have the spotlight yet. He doesn't want to attract unwanted attention, and even more likely, demon hunters who are actually really skilled and possibly an actual threat to him. The smoke protects Tanjiro while he has no idea what's going on, and this mysterious woman walks up to him with this guy. She tells him that she's curious about him wanting to help a demon, and Tanjiro realizes that this woman is a demon, but also a healer and a magical enchantress. She tells him that she also wants to destroy Muzan. Nearby, Muzan drops his family off and tells them that he now has to go to work. He waves them goodbye and takes the shortcut down this alley. He bumps into a group of drunk fools, and this guy says that he wants Muzan's suit. Muzan gets pissed off and shows everyone here why he's the top dog around here. He kills this guy and his friend, and after he walks up to this girl that's with them, and he tells her that he's the only life form on Earth that's close to perfection. He gently stabs his finger right through her head and forces her body to take in an excess amount of blood, making her body unable to deal with the drastic change. She quickly turns into something nasty, dies right here. He then snaps his fingers and two of his henchmen show up. He tells them that he wants to find the kid wearing these special earrings and to kill him immediately. Meanwhile, Tanjiro heads back to his sister to grab her, but runs into green-haired guy from earlier. He tells her that the healer demon has invited them back to her house to stay. He then guides these two to the secret house and they meet with the mysterious woman. She introduces herself as Tamayo and tells Tanjiro that they're basically good demons that heal people and buy donated blood from poor people in order to survive. Tanjiro then tells her that this must be why he couldn't smell their demon scent before. Tamayo tells him that despite what people think, she too can create demons just like the demon lord Muzan, because she turned green hair guy into a demon over 200 years ago, and reveals that she only turns people on the verge of death into demons if they want to continue living. Knowing that she's his greatest shot at curing Nezuko, he asks her if there's a way to turn demons back into humans, and asks if she can do it, but he has no idea that demons are nearby, tracking their location. Tamayo tells Tanjiro that there might be a way to cure his sister, but she'll need a large quantity of demon blood first to research a cure. But not just any demon blood. She needs demons filled with Lord Muzan's blood, the chosen demons of his personal army, the best of the best. And she suspects that Nezuko's blood may also help her discover a cure, since she hasn't fed on blood since she became a demon and is still not batshit crazy. But suddenly a ball violently crashes into the house and they see two demons standing outside. They tell Tanjiro, "Hello, we've been sent to kill you and anyone that's with you." The good guys prepare to battle against this girl using a handball as a weapon, and she throws more balls into the house and it rips right through green hair guy's head. Tanjiro is furious, but he notices that their scent is different. He brings out his demon hunter moves, combined with his total concentration breathing to enhance his body, stopping this ball. But he realizes that this ball is moving by itself. Suddenly, green hair guy's head regenerates and freaks Tanjiro out. Furious, he quickly teams up with Tanjiro to take them down. Okay, this is a problem. These demons are another one of Muzan's minion bastards, but these ones have blood demon powers that are a little bit more trippy. This handball girl can throw deadly handballs at wicked speeds, and it's basically a way more lethal anime version of the movie Dodgeball. That's scary. But I'd be more worried about her partner, because this guy not only has the ability to track footprints, he has the ability to control the vector of someone using invisible arrows, meaning he can send you up, down, sideways, through the air, and splatter you onto the ground if he wants to. And he can do this from a distance. This makes him way more of a direct threat than Demon Girl. But if we notice, Arrow Demon presently is nowhere to be found, even though he clearly has been sent to kill us. And even just by hearing about Muzan's temper and knowing what he does to his minions if they don't follow his orders, it's likely that this Arrow guy isn't just chilling outside, but is actually contributing to the fight somehow. But with him not being present and in my line of sight means that we can't take any undue risks. If anything, it makes me think that he's like Muzan. He doesn't like to get get his hands dirty and will probably attack from a distance. So what I would do if I was Tanjiro, I would use green hair guy and Tamayo to keep Demon Girl distracted while I tell Nezuko to walk out to the back of this house and check out the perimeter of this building and eventually attack the Demon Girl from behind, keeping her distracted and possibly using our own sister as a shield of meat. Brutal, I know, but she's a dangerous shield of meat, so she might be fine. But by doing this would allow us to scan the area and find the arrow demon to take him out, because this Demon Girl clearly is immature and has a short-fused personality that makes me think that despite her powers and killer instinct, she's the least of our problems. This demon assassin declares that she's part of the 12 demon moons, direct minions of the first demon Muzan. She grows multiple arms and doubles her striking power, throwing lethal handballs all throughout this house. Tanjiro begins to struggle to keep tabs on all the balls, so green hair guy lends him his demon eye powers, allowing Tanjiro to see the direction of all the balls as they come to him. Meanwhile, Nezuko goes to find the other demon outside, because he must be the one controlling the balls. Finding him, she tries to stop him, giving Tanjiro an opening to cut this demon's hands. He thinks he's done it, but she grows back all of her arms with ease, and Nezuko gets thrown onto Tanjiro. Green hair guy then steps in and instructs Tanjiro to take care of that arrow demon, while him and Tamayo take care of Handball Girl. Nezuko charges at this demon, but she gets her foot blown off and knocked back. Tamayo tells her that because she hasn't drank any blood, her healing powers have slowed down, and she injects her with some medicine. Outside, Tanjiro tries to fight Arrow Guy, but he can't beat him. He then uses the 6th form to move around the arrow and shorten the distance between them. He then uses a sword whirlpool to use a 2nd form modified lateral water wheel, chopping this guy's head off. Whew, that was a mouthful. But the arrow demon is tougher than he thinks, and it's still alive. He uses his powers to fling Tanjiro all around through the air, until eventually he dies, but leaves Tanjiro injured as hell. He crawls back to check on the rest of his teammates, and finds green hair guy working on fighting Handball Girl. He almost gets killed again as Nezuko saves him and quickly pets him since he reminds her of her brother. Being unlike the rest, Nezuko suddenly reveals her true power level and begins taking on Handball Girl with ease, shocking Tamayo because she hasn't had any blood. Handball Girl then gets really mad and demands that they die here so she can please her master, Lord Muzan. But Lady Tamayo reveals to Handball Girl the true nature of Lord Muzan. She tells her that he uses demons to kill other demons to keep their ranks small, and this is how he makes sure that there's never enough demons in the world that are strong enough to overthrow him. She then sneakily casts a spell onto this demon, and then Handball Girl starts revealing a little bit too much information about who Lord Muzan really is. But then she realizes what she's done, and Tamayo tells her that she just casted a spell on her that makes people tell the truth. Knowing she's messed up, Handball Girl begs Lord Muzan to spare her life, but the curse he put on her attacks her, making her brutally explode with 3 hands busting out of her body, and it squashes her head. It's gory but brilliant. After that, Lady Tamayo tells Tanjiro that Lord Muzan's cells reside in all of the demons out there, but reveals that the demons they just killed aren't part of the Demon 12 Moons, because they're too weak. It's strange, and Tanjiro realizes that Lord Muzan lied to Handball Girl and Arrow Guy earlier and used them as his pawns instead. Tamayo then takes a blood sample to work on Nezuko's cure and heads inside, and Tanjiro hears a strange voice coming from Handball Girl's corpse. It asks him to play handball with her, and he realizes that deep down this demon was just an innocent child, and he watches her get burnt alive in the morning sun. Tanjiro collapses in sadness because it's really sad, I'm not even kidding. Tamayo then updates them that they'll need to move to safe houses because they've been discovered. Her and green hair guy tell Tanjiro that they'll continue to work on a cure to save Nezuko, and Tanjiro waves these two goodbye for now, as him and his sister follow their crow onto their next demon hunting assignment. And Tanjiro vows to find and kill Lord Muzan, the demon responsible for his family's murder, responsible for Nezuko's demon transformation and the murder of many innocent more victims.
And if you don't want to get bitten by no horrifying Japanese demons, then like, comment, let us know what you liked, and of course, don't forget to check out the How to Be playlist down below.